Creative block is one thing that anyone who is passionate about creating anything artistic will end up having sooner or later. Except for me, it's not like my content creation career depends on it or anything.
Don't look at that.
It can be extremely frustrating when you either need or want to do something you're passionate about, but the moment you sit down in your chair to get work done, you just sit there staring at the screen like it's some sort of hieroglyphic shit. And the problem with creative blocks or burnouts is that the solution to each will vary immensely from person to person. The stuff that works for me may or may not work for you, but regardless, I'm here to try to offer you a couple of ideas to deal with it. One of the very common things you hear whenever you're stuck on a problem is to simply stop whatever you're doing and go take a walk. And that is true. A lot of the times, just giving your mind a bit of rest is all you need to figure out a way to solve whatever problem you're facing. And that works for a very wide variety of problems too. Either practical, like some schoolwork, or even something that you're technically supposed to do for leisure, like for example being stuck on a stage or a boss in some game. Taking a walk isn't the only thing that helps. Any activity that forces you to be alone with your thoughts works as well. Taking a shower, meditating, and even sitting by your window to watch the world go by for a little bit can work, provided you don't have anything distracting you at that moment. But I know that a bunch of you guys are Zoomers, YouTube tells me that, and I'm sure that many of you would rather jump off a bridge than go without any sort of stimulus for more than 5 seconds. Don't worry, I also want to jump off a bridge, and for that I have a solution that both keeps you stimulated and keeps your mind free to think as much as you want.
Isn't that kind of counterintuitive?
Dude, shut the fuck up. This is Mirror's Edge. You might recognize it as being one of the games that I put in the background of my videos whenever I'm talking about something that is not gaming related. It is also notorious for being a game that I've played for almost 400 hours despite having 15 hours of content tops. And the reason why I do that is very simple. I like to boot up this game and simply run. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is a very simple game, with a comparatively simple story. You know those games that you play for the lore? This isn't one of them. I play this because I simply find it incredibly therapeutic to just wander. The city is pretty enough to keep your eyes entertained, and you can just let your mind drift to wherever you want. During the pandemic, one of the things that I used to do, and I'm not exactly sure whether I'm proud of it, is that when I would have my weekly therapy session, I would usually find myself booting up Mirror's Edge just to have something in the background. Just something pretty to look at. But naturally, I am a bit too ADD boosted to have a game in front of me and my hands unoccupied. Since the sessions were voice only, I decided to just run through the city as we talked. Thankfully, at that time I had already developed a somewhat good ability to play something and have a separate conversation at the same time. And so, for the rest of my therapy sessions, and for a very long time, I would just run through the city of glass. And it's very interesting how I came to associate this game with a feeling of clearing my mind. Sure, lore-wise it's technically a dystopia, but fuck if I don't feel good when playing it. But let's assume that Mirror's Edge Catalyst is not for everyone. I already know the city's layout like the back of my hand. So let's assume that they want something that takes you further. Somewhere that you can wander for hours and keep finding new things. For example, though the backrooms are mostly associated with brain rot these days, if you just boot up one of the backroom exploration games and just wander through it, it can be surprisingly relaxing. Oh, but the monsters and the scares, a big fucking deal. Just ignore them, this video isn't about that. There's something very fascinating about these places with seemingly impossible architecture. It's a very specific trope, if you can even call it that, but I can't help but get a sense of wonder whenever I get to walk through a labyrinth that just extends through miles on end. Mainly because the question that stays in the back of your mind during the entire time is simply, what's the point? That sounded kinda sad. Wait, what's the point of a place like this? A liminal space that just extends for 600 million square miles, or about 20% more than the Earth's surface area. And it's more than just endless yellow wallpaper. There are different environments to go through, every single one of them giving a different feeling of liminality. And since we're on topic, this might be a very specific feeling to me, but being immersed in these spaces genuinely feels incredibly liberating for whatever reason. It's an environment that is stimulating enough to keep you entertained, but not enough that it becomes overwhelming. In other words, it's a perfect place to let your mind wander as much as you want. How many hours have I not spent just wandering through these rooms, taking in the ambience? Not that many, because I mostly keep to Mirror's Edge, but I would be lying if I didn't tell you that the simple act of walking through the back rooms wasn't responsible for a couple creative breakthroughs by my part. This video, for example, is one of them. Why did I leave this part in the script? The dream pools are also pretty good. They feel more embracing than the back rooms to me for whatever reason. The calm afternoon lighting, the sound of the water, the perfectly tiled walls extending as far as the eye can see, it could be a myriad of things, but they all combine to make this dreamlike quality. Liminal spaces are notorious for being associated with nostalgia and a sense of intrigue, and the intriguing thing about them is that the intriguing thing about them is very hard to describe. There are some descriptions of liminal spaces here and there, but the truth is that liminality is a feeling that can only fully be translated once experienced, akin to trying to describe color to a blind person. And very curiously, not everyone experiences liminality, not to the same degree anyways. So let's assume that you're not one of them. This video isn't about liminal spaces anyway, sorry for the tangent, but don't worry, I will farm that for content one day. We were talking about walking in games, right? How could I neglect to mention Death Stranding? I haven't played it enough. Another piece of advice that I can give you that will sound very stupid at first, but please hear me out. Have you tried simply doing the artistic thing that you wanted to do but found yourself struggling with? I can't guarantee that this will work for every creative endeavor, but a lot of the times when I was writing something, hi, I'm a writer by the way, hello if you're new here, I found myself stuck in a scene somewhere. The character had to do a certain thing, but I couldn't justify why he would have to do that. I spent weeks, maybe months stuck on that chapter, and every now and then I would open the Google Doc and stare at it for a few minutes, and then ultimately question why my brain had made me so obsessed with a hobby that I couldn't even bring myself to do. I would close the document and open whatever could entertain my mind for the next amount of time I had specifically allocated to write. The breakthrough came to me on a particularly boring day. I had no power, no cell coverage, just a few electronics and whatever battery I had left in them. We do live in a fucking dystopia and mobile games require internet to play, so I genuinely had to entertain myself with something I had on me that wouldn't eat too much battery. Not that it really matters anyway, I have a gaming PC and this shit eats power like it's a wind turbine spinning the wrong way. This is a joke by the way, they don't work like that. I opened the Google Doc, oh fuck the internet, right. I opened a Word document and just started writing as if the character had just done the thing he had to do. And the story flowed from there for another like 20,000 words or so, just like that. It wasn't easy in the very beginning, but once I got past those insurmountable initial sentences, the rest came a lot easier. Stitching the two ends of the story together was just a matter of time, and one that I could leave for a future version of me who had a better grasp of the story overall than I did at the time. Oh, but Hadel, I am an artist, how would that apply to drawing? I don't fucking know, but I am also trying to get good at art, and I face your exact same problem as well. Sure, I may be a bit too inexperienced to claim that this works 100% of the time, but usually I would try to draw something, it was very unsurprisingly shit, and instead of giving up for the day, I would try to draw something else. With doodles, maybe a different angle, a different character, whatever. They weren't good, but they were better. And as soon as I got past the initial hurdle, the other drawings came a lot easier too. Even the one that I was trying to do in the first place. And like, of course, I'm not the god of art, I'm just a little guy who likes to delve into different art forms every now and then. And showing my shitty drawings to the like 1,000 people who will watch this is a bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. But my point is, this world fucking sucks if I can't translate my feelings and thoughts into something that I can manually craft. Be it a story, a script, a drawing, whatever. I know that it can be anguish to really want to do something, but simply finding yourself unable to do it. So hear me out, from one artist to another. Give it another try, will you? Either with one of the techniques or tips that I've shown you here, or with something else entirely that works for you. But please, don't ever stop creating. I don't want to live in a world or country or universe or whatever that has people giving up on bringing more beauty to it because life gets in the way. Because your brain decides to blue screen whenever you look at an empty Google document or an empty canvas or whatever. Because we both know damn well that it isn't a matter of how bright the flame can burn, it's just a matter of striking the match. Do not go gently into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. Oh shit, this poem is actually about that. Fuck, go create shit, have fun doing it, and subscribe while you're at it. Please, I need the money.